In the late innings on Tuesday night, South Carolina found itself in an eerily similar position to the one that it was in on Sunday, just 2 days earlier against Arkansas. In that game out in Fayetteville, the Gamecocks were in a 4-4 tie with the Razorbacks going into the bottom of the 8th inning and had a chance to potentially take the lead at some point and maybe win the game to salvage the series. Now, as it turned out, the Gamecock pitching staff gave up 7 runs in the bottom of the 8th, which was the difference in an eventual 11-4 loss as the Razorbacks completed a series sweep. And almost the same exact thing happened here in Charlotte at Truist Field, as with a 8-8 tie going into the 8th inning, South Carolina's pitching allowed 5 runs in the top of the 8th as North Carolina picked up a 13-8 win, moving the Gamecocks' losing streak to 4 straight games. So it has been very rough for this team in these late, most recent games. The weekend out in Fayetteville was really, really bad from start to finish. There's really no way to sugarcoat that. And honestly, tonight, it looked like it was going to be heading the same way. Eventually did. But at one point, even in the 6th inning, for instance, I mean, it was an 8-3 North Carolina lead after South Carolina was up early in this game, and then the Tar Heels stormed back to take a commanding lead and looked poised to shut down the Gamecock offense for the rest of the night like they had been doing. But give credit to South Carolina. They fought back, managed to make it a 1-run game with 4 runs in the 6th, and then Bo Hollins delivered the game-tying hit on an RBI double that fell into left field, and just like that, it's a brand new ball game. But the real Achilles heel tonight, in my opinion, was the pitching staff. I mean, there's just no doubt about it, as when Zach Russell came in the 8th, he just did not have any, chance to really settle in, as he gave up 3 straight hits, including a go-ahead 2-run homer to Luke Stevenson, catcher for North Carolina, who hit 2 home runs tonight, and that was the difference. And then the pitching just really couldn't get any more outs from there, as 3 more runs scored for North Carolina to have enough of a comfortable lead to go on and win this game. But you look at the numbers over these last 4 games, it's been very disappointing for South Carolina. 48 runs given up, 12 homers allowed. That's in the last 4 games. So since Friday against Arkansas, 3 games against the Razorbacks, a game tonight against North Carolina. I know these are really good teams, but that's a lot of runs given up. And when your offense scores 8 runs, Paul Mainieri admitted it after the game, that should be enough to win. But it wasn't. And tonight, 12 pitchers were used, 13 runs were given up, 10 strikeouts, and here's the big number that really was a letdown. 13 free passes, 11 walks, 2 hit by pitches. So you're never going to win a game when your pitching is doing that, and that was evident tonight. And overall, South Carolina's struggles against quality competition continue, as they're now 1-9 against ranked teams this season. Their only win came in the middle game of a 3-game series against Oklahoma to open SEC play. And it could potentially get worse from here, as the tough times and the tough games are going to keep rolling on. And it continues with number 1 Tennessee coming into town this weekend for a 3-game series. And South Carolina is in a position where if they get swept this weekend, they're going to fall to 1-8 in SEC play. And that's really hard to come back from, I should say. And there's still a lot of time left in the season, as it's only March right now. But things can get really rough in a hurry here, as if they're not already, and tonight was just the latest example of that. So, again, South Carolina suffers a 13-8 loss to number 21 North Carolina here in Charlotte on Tuesday night. And the Gamecocks will be back in action on Friday night, taking on number 1 Tennessee, starting a 3-game series. First pitch at 7 p.m. on SEC Network Plus. So that is going to do it for now from Charlotte here at Truist Field. For GamecockCentral.com, I'm Jack Veltri.